Hey guys, what is up, and I welcome each and every one of you to a new League of Legends video. So you guys know I really enjoy trying to find out any potential new information I can, especially about changes or new things coming to League of Legends. And after a little bit more digging, and also back when I was trying to find all the information I can about the Assassin rework, I also ended up finding some other really interesting information that I want to share with you guys in this video. And it's regarding what I personally believe to be is going to be the next class update following the Assassin update, which I highly believe is going to be towards the top lane, focusing on either fighter slash diving type champions or the initiation or kind of tanky type champions instead. Right before we get into this and I show you guys why I think this, the question of today's video is, what type of diver type champion do you want to see get reworked? And if you end up enjoying this video and finding it interesting, let me know by hitting that like button. Alright, so let's jump right into why exactly I strongly believe that the next update after the Assassins is going to be for top lane dealing with either diving type champions or tanky initiation, aka Vanguard type champions. So back before the Assassin update was actually officially announced that it is going to be worked on, there was a comment made by a user on the League of Legends forums trying to confirm which are the potential 3 choices for the next class update, and Reeve confirms that the 3 potential classes to get an update, again prior to the Assassin one being actually confirmed, are the Vanguards, the Assassins, and the Divers. So now that we know Assassins are without question the next class update, that obviously leaves one of 2, either Vanguards or Divers, because clearly these are on their radar. And then Medler went on to talk about the bottom part of the comments, saying that if they were to update Divers again before the Assassin update has been confirmed, they'll look at champions maybe like Rengar, Diana, or Aatrox. Or even maybe someone like Tryndamere if they end up choosing to update the Skirmisher type class. But all in all, it does seem like after the Assassin update, the next one is without question, or at least it's heavily implied, is going to be towards the top lane. And there are several more comments where he just seems to reference the diver class. I'm not going to show all of them because I'm sure you get the idea by now, but it does heavily imply that the whole diver class is pretty high up on the list of a potential update after the Assassins. But as we jump about a month in advance or so, it gets a little bit more interesting, because as he's replying to a comment asking why Nocturne is not included in the upcoming Assassin rework, he says that they're pretty much saving Nocturne's changes and what they want to do to him whenever they update the diving or fighter class. To which he also then says that other potential champions that can also get reworked once they do the diving or fighter update are champions such as Aatrox, Xin Zhao, Wukong, all champions that are considered divers fighters because that's what they pretty much do. They dive the backline. They don't really have a whole lot of ways to get back out. It's either they kill the target first or they die first, and that's about it. Obviously also having some defensive abilities. But this also may imply that someone like Jarvan can definitely be part of that update as well, as he definitely fits the role. But then another comment is made by Reeve that also not only confirms this, but makes things a little bit more interesting as well. Because here he says that Aatrox, even though he is a very outdated champion and he's pretty much just MIA completely and you never see him played anywhere, he's not really suited for a full visual gameplay update, but more of a roster project, most likely when they get into the divers. So that pretty much confirms that yes, divers will get a class update eventually, it's just a matter of when. But since they already have a few champions pretty much laid out that they're very highly considering changing, again being Wukong, being Aatrox, being Xin Zhao, and probably even someone like Jarvan, this kind of makes you wonder, you know, chances are it's probably the one coming up after the Assassin update, since they also said in other comments that this class is also very problematic, just it happened to be not as problematic as the Assassin update, which is why that one is first. So like I said earlier, another big question is, well, okay, so it seems like it's a pretty good chance that after the Assassins, the diver fighter class is next, but when? Well, luckily for us, this comment by Medler 24 days ago sort of gives us a very rough answer. And it says the following: we haven't chosen a class for after the Assassins, and for anyone unsure, whichever update it is going to be is also a ways off, so around the middle of next year. So the Assassin update is probably coming out around October, November. I mean, that's usually when those preseason updates happen around Worlds. And the next one following that, which probably is going to be the fighter update, is probably going to be around June of next year. And in the rest of his comment, he just essentially confirms that there's very good chances or good arguments that it'll either be the diver class or instead the Vanguard class. Again, things we already know, things I already showed you guys, and more or less has been confirmed. Now before I end off this video, there's one more thing I want to talk to you guys about. This is a sponsored message, but it's about a site called ethos.gg. It's a website that's trying its best to put the fun back in games that we all love to play right now. having better matchmaking, making it more fun, having the community be just overall less negative. And this is going to be for games like League of Legends, Hearthstone, Counter-Strike Go, and things like that. All in all, the point of this is going to be to let you guys know about the site, what their intention is, and I'll have a link to it down below where, if you can, I'd really appreciate it if you could just check it out, maybe even give your opinions and let them hear your thoughts on what you think will make the best community for gaming, making local tournaments where everyone can play and things like that. So I'll have a link down below. Please definitely check it out, give your input as well. Your voice will be heard, and maybe your advice is what will create the next big wave in gaming. But either way, guys, that is about it for this video. That is about all the information I was able to dig out and give a pretty good idea that the class update after the Assassins around middle of next year seems to be very highly likely that it is the Fighter or Diver class update, with champions like Xin Zhao, Aatrox, and Wukong in consideration. Again, it could also very well be the Vanguard class with initiation type tanks instead, maybe someone like Sion, I would assume. But the point is the fact that the next one should be relatively close to the top lane, or at least focusing on the top lane type champions. So if you guys did enjoy this video or found this information useful or interesting or whatever, let me know by hitting that like button. Tell me down below which of the Fighter or Diver type champions you would like to see change, maybe someone like Wukong or Aatrox or whatever. But either way, make sure to subscribe if you haven't, check out my other videos as well, and I'll see you for the next one. Peace.